I knew nobody was on Twitch yet anyway. Dusty, what up, sir? Been a minute. You're my first contestant. I'm on here. I got on here late, of course. Always late to the party. Okay. What up, sir? How you been? How you be? What it do? I'm not sure who's on Twitch, but what up to you? Thank you for joining. We're gonna get into it, and then the other folks they can catch up. But this story is crazy, and I live here for y'all thoughts. But woman was killed after forcing. It's been great, Dusty. I cannot complain. No complaints whatsoever. Let me make sure we're on Do Not Disturb so that we don't get interrupted. But yeah, everything is good. Dusty, no complaints over here. But yeah, very tragic story. Woman is killed after forcing her way into husband's alleged mistress's home. Still trying to break in after warning shots were fired. So here's the breakdown of the story, and then we'll get into it. So police say, thanks, Dusty. Police say 42-year-old woman was killed. We'll just call her Miss Wilson. But her name is Kia. I'm bad with names. We'll just call her Miss Wilson. Was killed early morning Monday after pulling up to a house on Scarf Drive looking for her husband. Have no idea where Scarf Drive is. Turns out her husband was allegedly in a relationship. Hey, Mr. Daniels. Turns out her husband was allegedly in a relationship with another woman, Akosha Greer. Miss Wilson got there. She spotted her husband's car parked behind the residence. She used her key to move the car in the front and then went to knock on the door. After a while, Greer, which is the mistress, alleged mistress, spoke to Mrs. Wilson through the home surveillance speaker. Things escalated quickly. The two got into a heated argument about whether Wilson's husband was inside. When Wilson tried to force her way in, Greer fired. The alleged mistress fired the shot through the storm door. You would think that the warning shot would have been enough for the wife, and she would retreat, but she didn't. So since she didn't retreat, she got inside, and then it led to a physical altercation. During the struggle, the alleged mistress fired a second shot, this time striking the wife. Wilson then got into her husband's car and drove a short distance before flagging down the officer near the Madison precinct, where she came to her injuries. So, again, crazy story. What are our thoughts on this story right here? Um, was this woman justified for going to this mistress's house, or she just have like dealt with the husband and left us alone? Was this wife justified? Because now she's no longer here. Um, was she justified in pulling up to the mistress's house? You know what I'm saying? Her first thing where she went wrong was she went inside, and depending on the state that you live in, I live here in Georgia. Georgia is a stand your ground state. So if somebody forcibly enters into your house, you have the right to stand your ground. So I'm not sure where this actually took place at, not 100% sure. But like I said, just a crazy story. And if you heard the whole story, even including my folks on Twitch, what are your thoughts on this story? Was this woman wrong for pulling up on the mistress? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why we do this. We never are mad at the man. We're always mad at the other woman. Instead of, and then again, I don't know the circumstances. What up, OC baby? You're like yeah, number one. But we're talking about, I don't know if you saw the story. And I love the positive motivation today. Much needed. Thank you, sir. Um, I don't know if you saw the story of the woman that was killed after forcing her way into her husband's alleged mistress's home. Hey, large father Monday. Um, and still was trying to break in after warning shots were fired. But we're talking about that situation today. I can read it. It's pretty long, but we'll get into it. So the wife was killed. Let me go back. So turns out her husband was allegedly in a okay, so the wife pulled up basically on the mistress. Uh so the wife went to this alleged mistress's house thinking that her husband was there. So when the wife got there, she spotted her husband's car, right? Parked behind the residence. She used the key to move the car to the front and then went to knock on the door. After after the mistress spoke to the wife through the home surveillance speaker, things escalated quickly. The two women got into a heated argument about Wilson's husband being inside. Then Wilson tried to force her way into the alleged mistress's home. The mistress fired a shot at the storm door. It missed the wife. The wife didn't stop there. She continued to try to got into the house, and they got into a physical altercation. Then a struggle ensued between the gun. And then that's when the alleged mistress struck her in the stomach and then drove off in the husband's car. And then later, came of her, wounds. So there he is. What up, Hefe? You're actually the first one. I got on here late today. But you're kind of the first, but not the first, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if you're working today. But we're talking about today, FA. A woman was killed after forcing her way into her husband's alleged mistress home. So just because this is a long circuit. You finally made it, FA. Welcome to the party. I'm bringing you on, FA. It's crazy because there's nobody else on here yet. They'll come on, no worries. I trust and believe me. What up, FA? How you been? Long time no see, my friend.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
You been good?
Yes, y'all. What's up?
Yeah, I know. We've been missing your.
I said, damn, is y'all on a different time zone or what?
No. So, 1:30 is usually 1:45, but it's been getting closer to 2 o'clock for me. So I've been pushing it, and which is my apologies. I'm a late person.
I'm cool, because I like 2 o'clock. That works better for me, but that's fine.
We can push it to 2 o'clock if, I could do that.
Yeah, that's always works for me.
Because 2 o'clock is seeming like the time that I'm getting on here anyway. So that might work out a little bit better. But we're talking about a woman today, and you've missed some really great conversations. We had a whole lady on here whose husband cheated on her with her best friend's husband. So that was a very that was a very interesting conversation, Che. When me and Rashad, I couldn't believe it. I had to repeat it again. I was like, did she just say what I think she said? But she said exactly what I heard her say.
Yeah.
But I don't, because somebody was like, it does happen, but you don't meet people that it happens to, if that makes sense. It more to me seems like it happens in movies. Not to say it doesn't happen, because I know it happens, but it just seems more like, when it comes in his home, it's like, damn, wait a minute. Because I've never met anybody whose husband, anyway. and hope never to meet anybody whose husband would cheat anyway. But anyway, to each his own. So today, Afe, we're talking about a woman who was killed after forcing her way into her husband's alleged mistress's home. All right, so there's a lot to this story. I've read it like twice. So let me read it and then I'll let you say your thoughts because this is a very tragic situation because the wife ended up dying. So uh police say 42-year-old Kiana Wilson was killed early Monday. Don't know where this place is, so please don't ask where it's at. I have not you, FA, but anybody. I don't know where it is. So it turns out her husband was allegedly in a relationship with another woman, 42-year-old Kosha Greer. When Wilson got there, which Wilson is the wife, she spotted her husband's car parked behind the residence. She used his key to move the car to the front, then went to knock on the door. That's when stuff got wild. After the mistress spoke to the wife through the surveillance speaker, things escalated. The two women got into a heated argument about whether the wife's husband was inside. When Hey Gabrielle, when Wilson tried to force, which is the wife, her way into the alleged mistress's home, she fired a shot through the storm door. That didn't stop her, FA. Okay? You would think a warning shot would have stopped her, but it didn't stop her. So she got into the house. They got into a physical altercation. They eventually were struggling over the gun. The wife got shot in the stomach. Ended up leaving the scene, trying to drive herself to the hospital, but ended up succumbing to her injuries. So I guess today's question: what are your thoughts, first of all, on this? Was this wife wrong for going to the mistress's house? Um, should she had handled it, differently? I say this: women, stop approaching other women. That's what I say. Women, stop approaching other women. I think we run into the habit of where we want to blame the woman instead of blaming the person that needs to be blamed. But FA, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, FA. What do you think about this situation? Hey, babe.
I'm with you. I think it is. I think the man should have got the blame. I mean, I think the man should get the blame. I think women shouldn't be approaching other women. I think that. Um, I think that. I think that. I don't. I think that it's a good. This is a good example of why. Side note: I tell people that a good trait that you can learn about a person early on, even though this one is kind of extreme, so I kind of understand. But I used to meet women that'll say stuff like, or you'll meet guys that'll say stuff like, yeah, sometimes I get so angry I black out.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be like, oh man, that's a good sign to not deal with a person like that.
What's
Because
what's a blackout? What is that? Like when they black out?
black out. They said sometimes I get so angry I black out.
Oh, you do. I do too. I got that.
No, not me.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Oh, I do.
I don't. I'm
Oh.
saying it's a good sign to know that you're dealing with a person that when they get so angry, you might not be able to calm them down, and they may not be in control of their actions
Yeah.
anymore. You know what I mean? And that is what I see with this girl, because, like you said, I don't know too many people that when a warning shot would have went through that door, and they still went through that door.
Yeah.
That sounds like a woman that's not thinking and they like blacked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. They just so enraged that they essentially got themselves killed. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm like, man, I wish she would have a little bit more, self control, because ultimately, and I tell this to the fellas too, and I know it's difficult because when they get their heart broke, it's difficult. Ultimately, that person gonna move on. So like, she dead now, and that her husband gonna move on. And guess what? It's a good chance her husband gonna keep dealing with that girl.
He gonna move on with her, and they about to spend her life insurance check. That's exactly what's about to happen. I'm telling you now. I see it on investigation, it's Discovery all the time. That's fact. That's what they do. They got you open ENT. He gonna move on. Hey, mama.
He should be doing that.
He gonna move on. He gonna move on with the mistress, and they gonna spend up that life, whatever it is, life insurance check.
Well, I don't know, because it usually don't work like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Number two never really turns into number one. Number two just stays number two. When he loses number one, he usually go finds another number one. Number twos never really get promotions. They just stay number two.
Well, then she's a ding dong because you did all of this for what?
Well, I
You
don't think she
she
didn't do
still might not even
everything
have
for
a number
me. It
one
sounded like
spot.
she was in her own home, and this woman broke into her home. It don't sound like she did anything.
I mean, but she was dealing with this woman's husband. Come on, FA. I mean, she's not all the way innocent in the situation. Yes, the woman did break into her home, but if this man was at your house and you was dealing with this woman's husband, then shame on you.
Well, I don't think shame and being innocent is not the same. But I feel because the girl is completely innocent. But morally, right? If you want to judge her for cheating with dating a married man, then okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't really, you know,
Don't you start, FA.
that'll actually have to matter. That'll actually have to matter, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Good.
Um, the reason why I don't, I'll acknowledge it. I'll acknowledge that it matters to women, but the reason why I kind of take it with a grain of salt and I don't really take women seriously when it comes to that. 'Cause I know so many women that um got friends that are dating girls, that are dating guys, that are in relationships, that are dating guys that are married. So I don't. It's just it sounds good when it comes out of their mouth, but they got in a close circle, or if not even themselves, often are dealing with women. With men that are in relationships or that are married, so it's just hypocritical. It just sounds good to me. I'm like, okay, well, it sounds good, but that ain't often with y'all. That ain't y'all real life. Y'all everyday life. Y'all dealing. Y'all nigga right now, right?
Nah, mine's live with me, so he can't. Wait, Mama said they set her up. They want that insurance money. FA don't think she got set up for the insurance money.
Yeah, they set her up. They set her up. They did, and somehow in that setup, they predicted that she was gonna run through a door even after
It's a bad.
a warning shot went off, and then went they then had enough courage and all of that to keep going through the door to get shot again. Yeah, that was a perfect setup. That was a beautiful
FA
magical
don't believe.
plan.
FA said, "Nah, I'm not buying that." FA, we watched too much Investigation Discovery.
The
Listen,
natural reaction of everybody when they hear gunshots, they start running. That's what everybody said.
I mean, I wouldn't have stood. I wouldn't have stood around there that got shot for no damn body. You can have him, sis. He ain't even. He ain't. He ain't worth all that. Sheesh. Super bad and mama. We're talking about a woman was killed after forcing her way into husband's alleged mistress's home. Uh there was a warning shot fired and she still came. That was what FA was talking about. FA, let me run through this again really quickly. So a woman, we'll just say her name is Wilson. That's the wife, right? Because it's a lot of moving parts to the story. Um, she believed that her husband was cheating with another woman. The other woman's name is Greer. So she went to the woman's house where she thought her husband was at. So she saw her husband's car parked behind a woman's house. So she moved the car to the front and then proceeded to knock on the door. The wife and the mistress got into a heated exchange on the surveillance camera, okay? To which the mistress fired a warning shot. The wife still didn't let go. She still pursued to go into the house. So she got in the house. They got into a physical altercation. Okay, they start struggling. The gun goes off. The alleged mistress shoots the wife in the stomach. The wife leaves the scene, drives off, tries to go get help, but unfortunately passes away. So today's topic is, what are your thoughts on this situation? Because I know it's a crazy situation. And is this wife right for pulling up on this side piece? I say she shouldn't have pulled up on the side piece. You don't ever meet people where, I say she shouldn't have pulled up on the side piece. If you got a problem, you need to confront that man. He the problem. It ain't the side piece. He the problem.
100%. The reality is he's the problem because he's the one that owes you loyalty.
Exactly.
That girl don't owe you no loyalty. She don't owe you nothing. Only he owes you back. So yeah, you should have. You gotta adjust. And that goes like that for fellas too. I know it might be difficult, but understand when your girl out here cheating on you, that it's not that dude's fault. You know what I mean? That dude could. He ain't raping. He not raping your girl. She's willingly giving it to him. So your piece needs to be with that girl.
Why do why do you think people FA why do people think you owe them loyalty? That might be a good topic for another day. Why do people feel like you owe them their loyalty?
like strangers, right?
Yeah, strangers, people you've never even met
Yeah,
before.
I think so. So everybody wants to. Because when a person is wrong, like, because nobody likes when a rabbit got the gun, right?
Mhm.
So when a person is wrong, they then want to become this moral person and expect everybody else to do things the quote unquote right way. But in reality, we know damn well you don't even do stuff the right way in your own life. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's why they do that because they in their feelings and a panic and they're just angry and they're like, oh my God, wait, and that's what the women do. And as a woman, why would you even do this to me? You know how it is. And you're like, girl, you got friends right now that dating married men. So what are you talking about? You don't.
Or
So
might
it's
be
an issue
sleeping
when
with
it
they man.
happens to you.
Or might be sleeping with
Exactly.
they man, FA, cause okay. I've seen that before.
So it's only an issue. See, I tell you, it's not a problem until it's a problem, and it's only an issue when it get home. And nobody giving a care until it get home.
Yeah. No, but I was that chick, FA. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a situation where I thought I would come to the girl, woman, thought it was going to end peacefully, and it turned ugly. And usually, ladies, I'm telling you, when you go to
I bet because I'm coming to you too.
what?
I bet because I'm just turned ugly because of you.
Why you say me? No, it turned ugly because of her, FA. She got mad at me. She was like, "Well, if you know about me, then you must be the side piece because I don't know nothing about you."
Not true. Wow.
Right, and I'm like, "Well, girl, that's not true. I saw."
I just found out about you.
Yeah. So how did you come up with that logic? So that's when things took a turn for the left, okay, and then things got ugly, and then she wanted to fight. I'm like, "Girl, I don't want to fight
So
you."
I ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your woman's perspective. What is the like? I'm trying to figure out like. So you confront her. Why? And then after the confronting, what was it that you was supposed to be trying to get out of that conversation? Like, if he dealing with both of y'all, he dealing with both of y'all. Y'all know that already. Ain't nothing gonna change that as far as that has happened already.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go and confront her, are you saying, hey, I'm dealing with this man. Can you stop dealing with him?
No,
I'm dealing with this man, and I want you to know that because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna deal with him no more, and maybe you won't deal with him no more. Like, what's the reason? Why does it matter?
I think the reasoning why I did it initially was because I'm like, well, he's dealing with me. You need to know he dealing with me. He dealing with both of us, and then we could proceed from there. It wasn't like,
Why
oh,
you need to know that?
I don't know, because I'm like, well, if my feelings is hurt, her feelings about to be hurt too. Out of
That's
here.
right. There we go. Thank you for being
Out of here.
Now that's what it is. Cause I feel a way, so I want to make sure you feel that way too.
Yeah, my feelings hurt. So my feelings hurt. You need to know that this ain't no he a scumbag. But you know what, FA? I had a best friend that was kind of in this situation that this woman is in. Hold on, I'm gonna read some comments, and then for the folks who've been on here, you guys probably know the story, but I'll retell the story quickly. Super Pat said, "Yeah, I saw that story. Husband is foul. How he let his side piece shoot at his wife. Where was he? Good point, though. Where was he to protect his wife?
That is a good point.
Good point, Super Pat. Super Pat, Mama said, Mama still believes it was a hit, FA. She thinks that these people set that woman up. Make up Mickey a secret of secret life of Ronnie. Ooh, yeah, I don't even want to know what's secret about that life. Anyway, Super Pat said they said side piece had a previous shooting charge where she shot. So no, the plot thickens. Wait a minute now. She had a previous shooting charge. Oh no, she need to go to jail. FA. She already had a previous shoot. She been a killer.
That is a good job. Good. And I advise her to kill anybody that tries to break into her house.
She been a killer. Lock her ass up. But so no, I had a best friend. She's did she's about to get out in March of next year, but she did 21 and a half years, something like
Oh
that.
my God.
Yeah. Over a dude. Um, over some foolishness like this. She was dating a guy, and he was still dealing with his baby mama. So they would be going, they would be going back and forth. Baby mama pops up at her house. You know, my friend don't answer the door. So my friend was like, you know what? I'm tired of this.
Today
I
I
just want
got
to,
time.
huh?
She
No.
said, today I got time. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm gonna go pull up on this girl and see what's up. So she said she went over there. They began to talk. Good conversation. It always starts off good, ladies. I'm telling you. The other woman's gonna be like the nicest, sweetest person until, okay, until. And then it went left, and then the girl pulled out a gun on her. She said if it was not for that girl's baby crying, because the baby basically saved her life. It was if it was not for that baby crying and the mama turning her head, my best friend said she would not be here to tell the story. So basically, it was my best friend's life or her life. But what my best friend messed up with, she was at her house. She left the scene of the crime, and she called the police.
That's how I go. And you gotta remember, that's exactly what I was thinking about when you told me he pulled up to her house. See, in my mind, I know how the law works.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I already know you are going to be the perceived aggressor because you came to their dwelling. They didn't come to your dwelling. So you are automatically the perceived aggressor.
You still there, Effie?
That's unfortunate.
No, it's an unfortunate thing. I don't think she should have probably lost her life. That's why, ladies, it's not worth it. Men too. You said
Gone.
You said it too.
Over a nigga that's probably done with neither one of them now. It's never worth it.
It's not worth it, ladies. I tell anyone, it's not worth it even to sit there and go to a woman. The woman to woman thing is not worth it. Because women, when men say women don't want to hear the truth, they do have a point to it. Women don't want to hear the truth. They don't. So, F.A., you laughing at me today?
I'm laughing, but I believe you.
No, women don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that their man is creeping on them. How could my man cheat on me? And I got this old good over here. And I do this and I do that.
How about that?
I'm just saying, I'm being real. Like that, because I'm being, women, yeah. It happens, you know. You sitting there, you thinking it can never. It happens. Mr. Austin said, "Ladies, hire a private investigator before you do something." Yes, hire my mama. Okay, she's PI number 1. Okay, let me stop. No, but mama, she should have been a private investigator because she be on the case. I promise you, she gonna find out. If anybody gonna find out, mama gonna find out. And mama was like, "Oh,
If cheating is such a deal breaker for you, ladies, I've said this another time. Stop dating handsome, tall, attractive men with money.
You said stop dating them?
Yeah, I told you that's. Well, I don't know why it's like y'all can't get it through y'all head. Y'all rather believe in the fantasy instead of listening to what a man is telling you. I'm telling you, if you're under 35 and being monogamous is important to you, honestly, ladies, stop dating men that are handsome. Stop dating men that are tall. Stop dating men that have money.
The ugly ones cheat too, F.A.?
It's a good chance. Right. But I'm saying you have a higher probability of them not cheating. That's all. I can't guarantee you. I'm just trying to improve your chances.
Listen, if a person wants to...
Fat, ugly men, if they don't have much money, I can almost guarantee you they're not going to cheat on you.
That's a lie. Because somebody want their ass because they got money. I don't believe...
No, I say don't got no money.
Oh, okay.
Money, they fat and they ugly.
Oh, you got a point.
You.
Rashad, I'm going to kick you out and then put you back in. Rashad, I'm kicking you out and putting you back on because I don't know what's going on. You spinning. You got a point there. I agree with you on that. That part is right. Yeah.
You know. So we gotta.
But who wants a fat ugly? Who wants a fat ugly man? What up, Rashad? Who want a fat ugly?
The woman that her list of priorities is monogamy. Is the number one thing. So if that's the number one thing, then you have to go for the men that have a higher probability of giving you monogamy.
Damn.
And it's just a logical decision. It's not an emotional decision. I'm just giving you like numbers. I'm saying this. I can guarantee that any man, any person is gonna be monogamous.
No.
I can give you things that will improve the chances of you getting a monogamous man. And I'm saying, okay, it's a higher likelihood that a man will be monogamous if he don't have any money. And a higher likelihood of monogamy if he restricted. It's a higher likely of monogamy if he is overweight. It's a higher likely of monogamy if he's short. So if you get all four of those things in one man, I can almost guarantee you they will be monogamous to you.
Mm. What up,
So
Rashad?
let me put that into perspective. What he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the probability is going to be higher if you take away the traits that women covet, right? So one of the challenges that men face that do have the height, that do have the dollar value, that do have the looks, one of the challenges that they face is that women continue to seek them out regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And so what women don't understand is that women won't leave men alone. Yeah. And it's just the bottom line. I mean, everybody always says you should be able to do this and you should be able to do that. But with all men, we are doing our best to maintain when we are attempting to be monogamous. And I can speak to this because I got everything. And this ain't me tooting my horn. It's just I got everything.
You
And
got height?
most men. I mean, look, the height, the success, in business, in corporate America, the looks, the voice, all of that. And so the thing about it is, people don't understand that it is a daily struggle. It is a daily struggle because I got people flirting with me on TV.
On TV?
When people are interviewing me and these chicks, it's just oh my god, their voice is just man. What did I tell you? What did I tell you 2 days ago?
Yeah.
About Diddy?
Mm-hmm.
I told you about my new that went on a. So you didn't hear this, Hefe. I got a fraternity brother that went on a date. And I didn't tell you this part, Diddy. He is a news broadcaster. He is on television. He's on television, and he took a chick out. She talked about me because he brought me up because I invited him out to this event that we did. So he brought my name up. They talked about me for 30 minutes. And she could not, she was telling him that she wants to meet me and all of this other stuff. And it's just like, to Hefe's point, everybody's not me, number one. I have never stepped out on my wife. Never stepped out on my wife. I can say it on any platform and nobody will come up. Because like I said, I've never done it because I know I'm not a normal.
Rashad, I didn't see you on that T-app brochure.
Look, I don't expect anybody to be like
I seen you on the T-app brochure. They was spilling the tea on you.
No, you will never see me on that damn thing.
I saw you on the T-app brochure.
I was on that goddamn T-app, but go ahead.
You was on the T-app, F.A.?
Oh my god.
Oh God, wait. Rashad, tell your story, and then F.A., you got to tell about the T-app.
You go and jump to that because look, that thing is
And I want to give you a shout out, dog, because for the men that are in a similar situation as you, tall men, some that doing pretty well, I know what I'm saying, and all that. It is a very difficult thing to do. I'm at a space in life where I'm like, I can really appreciate that because I'm striving for that. See, at one point I was striving for monogamy, but now I'm actually striving for monogamy, and I see it's not easy. So,
and to your point, that's the reason why I have to come to these spaces and say it. Because brothers don't know that it's dudes out here that's actually making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it happen, bro. You just gotta be stronger up here than you are down there. And I'm stronger up here.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. You absolutely gotta be stronger. I don't like, I just wanna, when we talk about these things, I want people to know, I don't like when women make other men weak. when they, I want to be clear. Most men do not desire to be monogamous. So when they're not being monogamous, it's not because they're weak. It's because they don't desire to be monogamous. It's just that simple.
Mm.
Now, for the men that do desire to be monogamous, it's a difficult thing, and I'm glad you pointed all those things out because it's difficult. It's a difficult. But anyways, I think I was on that goddamn TI.
Yes, child. Talk about this tea app. I want to hear it. Clock
I'm
the
going
tea.
that twice. So the first one was the first time I got put up there.
Wait, FA. Hold on, FA. Before the T app was an app that was putting the men's businesses on blast. So FA was on this app. Go ahead, FA.
Right. So TI is just it's supposed to be a app where women are hosting men and like this group form and it's like all the random different people can like speak on their experience with this guy or tell you if he's good, he's bad, no, it's just whatever. It's really a site for women to gossip. Yes. You know what I mean? Just be talking. The problem with the app is the consumer is faulty, meaning the women. Mm-hmm. Like they're not actually going to be honest. Like some may be being honest, but then some people are not going to be honest. And to me, then it's delusive because once I start saying things that aren't true, then nothing is one thing was valid. You can throw the whole thing away. Oh, these are just women hating, whatever. Yeah, right. So anyway, yeah, I was on there, and the first time I was on there, listen, one thing I know, I'm going to get from the average woman that I'm not with, I'm going to be considered arrogant because I don't hold my tongue. I don't say things that I'm not interested in. I don't really care if you don't like it or not. You know what I mean? I don't because when a man is not trying to pursue a woman, or a man is not trying to have sex with a woman, it changes how he actually tell you how he really feels about things. Because when he really wants you, he gonna reserve it because he knows that I don't want to say this because she might think that and that might mess up the chances of getting with her, right? Mm-hmm. But when he don't got that, he don't have that desire. Oh, he gonna tell you exactly how he feel. He gonna say, "Oh no, this is what it really is." You know.
FA, what did they say about you, FA?
He's egotistical. He's the type of dude. He's the type of guy that thinks he's the prize in the relationship.
FA!
Some good comments.
Not you think you the prize in the relationship, FA?
I mean, I got, he's a cheater. I got some of that.
FA, who you done cheated on?
See, and this, I mean, it's cool if it's entertainment, but if we start taking his comments seriously, I need people to understand. We can't assert that people are just telling the truth just because they say it.
No, FA.
Just because she says I cheated don't mean I cheated. Let me be 100 with you. I'm gonna be 100 with you.
I
was actually cheating. The women I would be cheating with would not be on the app saying I'm cheating. That's how it's.
So because they wouldn't know.
Say it again.
Because they wouldn't know you were cheating on them then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I mean? So these are like women that are probably in my didn't get chosen. See,
no, FA. What you did? You done hit it and quit it, FA. Is that what's going on? FA? That's
fine. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I'm talking about this relationship I'm in. No. I can confidently say I don't have those experiences. You know what I mean? I didn't do the search like that. So I'm actually shocked I was still on it.
I can't believe you was on there, FA. Wait a minute.
Like, that might be not relevant no more.
He's like, I'm out the dating pool. But FA, no, because I be seeing your stories. You be litty chill. You be litty chill.
But I be with my peoples a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, I one of the experiences where I hate to never say this. I had to learn with this man. He has a living. He has a living. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That's kind of disrespectful, no?
I know. And that's the problem my girl was talking with me too. Like, but a lot of them like, he thinks she has a woman. He doesn't hide her. He doesn't this. He doesn't that. So a lot of the comments was like, just stating the obvious. And that's the point where I didn't understand. The T app was supposed to reveal things that people don't know. And I'm a woman on my page. I show her off all the time. This is not T. I thought T is got to be like, Bill, did you know he really be doing like this is probably
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I thought it was for, to spill the
no, it's
tea.
a, I said, oh, he be with his girl a lot. Oh, he'll show. Oh, he takes care of his wife. I mean, I never found out if we were not, but most of the comments that were negative were just stuff based around my personality. Where I know I just speak bluntly, and they don't know. Oh, he's arrogant. It's easy to call me arrogant if I speak bluntly. See, if Rashad didn't just say what he said smooth. Seriously, in the context of the conversation, there will be many women that could take for what he said that he's arrogant. They could just say, I am that person. I am tall. I am handsome. I do well in my business in corporate America. And da. Most women, well, then it would be a segment of women that would call him arrogant.
No, it would probably be a segment. A woman would probably say, "Well, we deal with the same amount of pressure as you guys." Because I could play devil's advocate. Go ahead, Rashad. We can't hear you. You gotta unmute yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can play devil's advocate in that, but men don't hound y'all about it the same way that y'all hound us.
Who don't hound us about it?
Didi, we don't have a T app.
Oh no, y'all got another app. It ain't called T app though. There's another app for you men out there. Oh, yes, it is.
But it's for a different purpose.
Yeah, it's to talk about the women.
I guarantee you will not be as successful because the nature of the men is not to go on the app and start talking about women. Because I'm just being like, this is something that will be more popular with females than it will ever be with males.
Oh no, there's an app. I can't remember the name of the app, but there's an app. Yeah.
But it ain't gonna be as popular.
Well, I haven't. I didn't hear much about it, but yeah, that T app went on fire, and I don't think the T app is around anymore because something happened where they were breaching people's information. So,
a million people.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you had some hacker understand that black women are the easiest target.
What? See, now you done went too far. Now you done went too far. Because why you got to just put black women in it? Women in general.
If you throw something shady out there, it's going to be more black women that gravitate toward it than anybody else. If you don't agree, show me another app out there that has anything to do about men and relationships and being petty that's not associated with black women. Go find it.
I'm sure there is, but I don't got nothing right now.
Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Write it down. Two topics that I think we should discuss, and I will be able to give you some real insight that I'm a part of one of. So one comment is, one discussion I think we should talk about in the future is, I'm sick of niggas, and I'm talking about this. I've seen that carnival stuff, and I'm like,
oh, the cruise.
Yes, these carnival cruises or whatever. I'm just not being able to act like civilized. Like I really, and I'm saying this in a safe space between black folks. I'm starting to see what these white folks are what they teach.
Oh boy, don't you get Mama riled up because she love her cruises. Don't you get Mama riled up. Hold on, hold on, guys. Let me read some of these comments. Superpat said some women need anger management. A man is not your property. Hitting him in his wallet is worse than hitting him over the head. Mama said sounds about right. Superpat said in Georgia, straight men who make six figures are the prize. Even short guys like me. Okay now.
I agree with you, brother.
Hey, Auntie. And Mama said, come on, F-Way, we don't believe you. LOL. And Mama said, women have men hit on us way more than women hit on men. And Mama said, men hit on women way... Okay, I read that already. Hey, Ron and Beauty Isher. We've been kind of all over the place. We did initially start by talking about... And Rashad, I don't know if you saw the story of the woman who was killed because she pulled up to the alleged mistress's home. But yeah, she was killed because she decided to go over to the alleged mistress's home and confront the husband and the mistress, and it ended tragically with her death. So we were talking about what.
Can we phrase it correctly? Can we say the wife decided to go to the mistress' home and then proceeded to break into her home?
Okay.
Like proceeded like so because we need to know this. That's what happened. She broke into the woman's home.
Okay.
She got murdered.
F said, if I'm going to tell the story, I better tell it right. Hold on, F. Let me just tell the whole story again. All right, so going back from the top. So the wife, Wilson is her name, okay? Greer is the alleged mistress. So Wilson, the wife, went to the alleged mistress Greer's home, where she spotted her husband's car parked behind the residence. She used the car key to move the car to the front and then went to knock on the door. After a while, the alleged mistress was speaking to the wife through the home surveillance. Things escalated. The two women got into a heated argument about Wilson's husband being inside the home. Wilson tried to force her way into the alleged mistress's home, and then the alleged mistress fired a shot through the storm door. You would have thought that that warning shot would have been enough, but no. The wife continued to proceed to go and break into the home. Got into the home. They got into a physical altercation. Another shot was fired by the alleged mistress. She shot the wife in the stomach. The wife fled the scene, trying to seek help, but then succumbed to her injuries. So that was the topic today. And what are your thoughts? Should this alleged mistress go to jail, or was this wife dead wrong? Go ahead, Rashad. I see your face. It's written all over your face. What you mean?
Why would she go to jail?
She killed somebody.
She defended herself.
Is that what you want to call that? I mean, it is self-defense. You're right. I'm playing devil's advocate, Rashad. It is self-defense. Yeah.
Look, I don't care what the situation is. If you break into somebody's home, you have just waived all your rights to life. That's the bottom line. You can't break into something. And that's the problem. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Our people, we are so driven by our emotion that we stop using our brains. You don't know this chick. She was in such a blind rage that she just completely gave up all safety elements.
Yeah.
To go and prove the point. Look, we have all struggled long enough to know you don't break into somebody's house while they're there. You don't know what they got. And the chick already shot at her. What you doing? You asking to get killed. So yeah, you can't blame the chick that's inside of her own home. There is no devil's advocate to this. There is none. This is open and shut.
The only devil's advocate is other women relating to how that wife feels, which thank God doesn't hold up in court at all. You know what I mean? But no one cares how you feel. But that's what they're relating to. They're relating to how that woman felt. They're saying, it doesn't matter what I did after that. I felt a certain kind of way, so I should have the permission to do whatever I feel like break into this woman's home and try to close her on. Because I feel a way. So, I mean, isn't that reasonable?
F got a point, though. F do got a point, though. F got a point, though. Yeah, F got a point, though. This lady, if my husband is up in your house and I'm in a blind fit of rage, ain't no telling what I'm gonna do. But I know once
that's bad.
Exactly. That's the point. You're not supposed to be in a blind rage. And that's only permissible if it was in your own house. That's the only way I can understand it. You walk in your own house.
I wouldn't be crazy enough to be pulling up on nobody at their crib. You know, that's just common sense. But Auntie said she was standing her ground in the house. Super Pat said facts. Mama said stand your ground. Super Pat said she should have been busy draining his bank accounts instead of looking for him.
Who said that?
Super Pat. Yes, it was a man. I'm with Super Pat. I like Super Pat's those first comment though. Super Pat. I like Super Pat 28's first comment though, where he said, "Where was the husband at? Where was the husband at? You not gonna put none of the blame on the husband, Rashad?" It ain't his fault either, huh?
Definitely ain't it.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Nobody said that he wasn't in the wrong. Nobody said that. But at the end of the day, she has to be in control of her actions. And for women that just say, look, I was just so mad that he cheated, I blacked out. Ain't no. You still have to adhere to the rule of law and common sense. Because if not, now she done lost her life over it. And now him and the side piece, now they're legitimately gonna be able to be together.
That's what Mama said. But F.A. said he ain't
That's
gonna be
what
with
I'm
her.
saying.
F.A. said he ain't gonna be
She
with
done
her.
ran over there and got herself killed, so now she's out the picture.
She-
You know what?
She done eliminated her damn self.
Policy, now he about to get paid.
And they about to spend that check. Spend that check. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
So she just contributed to their new life together.
But ain't that don't mean they gonna be together. Mr. Austin said, fellas, as a joke I said once before, go grab a cream pie and put it in her face. If that doesn't work, throw a tomato at her shirt, then run off. Okay then. Mr. Awesome. Mr. Awesome. I like that one. My auntie said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and unfortunately she lost her life. Super Pat said the husband was hiding in the closet, they say. Not like he is, because that's what he is. See, ladies, the problem is we need to check these men. Don't be checking a woman. Check these men.
Look, that ain't no win for y'all ladies if he's in a closet or not. Y'all try to take every little win that you can. See, he was in the closet. He ain't no real man. No, the chick doesn't die.
He ain't no real man if he was in that closet. You telling, let me ask you a question. You telling me, Rashad, and God forbid, a woman, okay, pulls up on your wife with a gun. You ain't about to protect your wife from this woman.
That's not what happened.
Okay, well then phrase it how it need to be phrased in F.A.
Telling me for sure. Yeah, your wife.
I'm just saying.
And tried to break into a woman's house that you were having an affair with. Would you stop the woman from defending her home and herself? That's what you need to ask Rashad.
You asked it. Go ahead, Rashad. I'm waiting.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day.
No.
No. You gotta hear me out, Dee. Golly, just.
No.
At the end of the day, you have to remember that I am in a situation where I love my wife, right? And if that situation was to ever, I don't anticipate it, but if it was to ever, manifest itself, I am definitely going to ensure that I address my wife to ensure that she is going to be okay, especially if I see the chick pull a gun out. My thought is, oh shit, this bitch is crazy.
Get the hell out.
And to be honest with you, she's really not crazy because she was just defending her property. And so I don't want to see my wife harmed, number one. Number two, we still got 3 kids. So I got a lot of factors into this. I don't know what their situation was, but obviously...
I think they had children together too.
Say it again?
I think they did have kids together, but I have to do more research on that. But I think they did have kids together. F.A., same question. You and your fiance get married. You're defending your fiance.
I'm not. I don't know how. I don't know what you define as defending, but what I would have done, I definitely would have took control of the situation. Man, like when that woman was knocking on that door, I would have walked out. And I'd have grabbed my wife and said, "What the hell are you doing here? Get in the car. Let's go." So that's what I'd have did. You know what I mean? And I'd have took on the rage of my wife and not allow her to put the rage on each other. But the other woman don't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
See, I'm the type of nigga that this is my actions. I'm doing this. So if you want to be mad, you need to be with me.
No, 100%. The obligation is not to the woman. The obligation is to the husband.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about that earlier. Why people feel like other people are entitled to their loyalty, and I don't even know you. You're a stranger. So why do you feel like you should receive loyalty from me, and I don't even know who you are. Go ahead.
So now let's talk about this, Didi, because we brought this up many a time.
Mm-hmm.
That is the issue. The issue is that this is for women and men,
Mm-hmm.
but the issue we're specifically talking about women. There are more women that do not respect other women's relationships. And so there are a lot of women that say, look, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all. That's on him.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's on you as well because you were a willing participant in the unless she was deceived, right? Unless she didn't know. But you know, seven out of 10 times
They know.
more than likely they know.
Right.
I don't want to say 9, but 7 out of 10 times they know. And so that's the culture that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about the women out there that are trying to do it the right way. It's almost like being a, and Hefe, I know you ain't gonna hear it, but it's all good. It's almost like being a Democrat or a Republican, right?
Mm.
It's like the Republicans, they are not playing by the rules
At all.
and they're getting everything that they want because the Democrats are still trying to play within the confines of the law. So in that situation, it's like the women, those 3 women out of 10 are still trying to do the relationship the right way, but they're never going to win because there are more than twice as many women out there that are going to do it the wrong way. So people keep talking about what's the issue with men and women. I guarantee you, if those 3 addressed those 7,
Mm-hmm.
you would start cleaning up issues sooner than later.
Mm.
Because as long as men have access to those 7, they don't have to.
They don't have to do the right thing. Yeah. You're right. That's why I say I don't.
Well, listen, for you to do that, you see, this is what I love. Because this is where the woman of the modern day woman position starts to crumble. You said that completely correct. I agree. The power is only in the man's hands because the woman has to give it to us, right? Because we have other options. We don't have to submit to we don't have to go along with the other 3. So I get your analogy. But guess what would have to happen for those 3 to actually imprint on the other 7? Guess what would have to happen?
What?
What's that?
You wouldn't be able to say body count don't matter. See, you can't have 7 women that no matter how many people I sleep with, and that shouldn't matter. And the man is only insecure if he cares about that. See, because then that allows the men to be with those women that don't care about how many people they sleep with. See, the ideology is going to start to conflict with each other. That's the point that I'm trying to make. You can't say, hey, listen, we're not going to be giving ourselves to these men when they don't deserve it and they haven't done certain things and they're not showing up or yada, yada, yada. And then in the same breath say, but you can sleep with as many men as you want. They don't go together.
No. But here's the thing. When I say that those 3 need to address those 7, they need to address them on several different topics. And promiscuity also needs to be a part of that conversation.
Mm.
There you go.
But you can't tell the black woman she can't get whatever Diddy wants.
She gonna lose
Let. Well, let.
I'm glad you brought up Republicans and Democrats because that was my second topic I think we should address about, and maybe I already did, but about Washington, the District of Columbia right now, and this whole your thoughts on him.
Oh yeah, let's talk because you are out there, Fa.
Yeah, I'm there in DC and all that. And
Yeah, you in the trenches.
I see the National Guard and all that.
So what's the temperature been like in DC?
No, that was a topic. I was saying that should be a topic.
No, that's a good topic. I would love to know what the temperature has been in DC because like, you're out there, you're living it, you're going through it now.
I can say it is. Oh, go ahead.
No, you fine. We want to hear that, brother.
I can tell you this. I love it. I can tell you this. I love it as needed. I just say, hey, I've been here my whole life. I'm at this stage now where I don't think like a street kid, a street boy like I used to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's been 12 days, this started about 2 days ago. And since he enacted this Home Rule Act, for 12 days we haven't had a homicide in the District of Columbia. Do you know that has never happened?
Oh, wow.
In almost 50 years. We haven't had one person get murdered in the District of Columbia for 12 whole days.
Wow.
I want you to be clear. 90% of the people that get murdered in DC are black. So this is why it's not. This is a win for black folks because we got black people that are alive, still alive for 12 days. That is like I couldn't. When I found that, I couldn't even fathom that. This is how much of a war zone DC has been for so fucking long. That just 12 days without somebody dying is unimaginable.
So let me ask you this question.
That's just one aspect of it. But go ahead.
Sure. So the fact that the crime was actually being being reduced,
Right.
and there were plans that were put into place that were driving towards that. Do you believe that the fact that there have been 12 deaths, 12 days with no death, 12 days with no death, do you believe that that is worth all of your civil rights being, what's the word? Being basically given over, right? Because there may have not been any deaths, but I guarantee the harassment level from police on innocent people is astronomical right now.
I would say that. I want you to finish.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I reject your initial premise, but I want to. So this and I know this for a fact, and I'll explain why I know this in the future. But I know this for a fact that your initial premise is incorrect. You said that crime is lower, and it's even some that said that it has dropped. But first of all, they're talking about violent crime, right? And they said violent crime is lower, and they said that it's at its like all-time low in 20 years as far as how much it has dropped. How low it is by. They said it's down 30%, right? I don't want to tell you that is a lie. And you're going to say, hold on, that is a lie. It is the biggest lie in the world, and I can't wait. And you're going to talk about it in the next week or two. That the Democrats, DC, has been fudging the numbers, and they have been intentionally misclassifying crime. So a violent crime is like a carjacking, right? But a theft of auto. So carjacking is like when somebody come up to you with a gun or a weapon and take your car from you. A theft, one stolen auto, is like when somebody steals your car that's in a parking lot, but it's not stealing it from the person. One is considered a violent crime. The other is not considered a violent crime. So carjacking is considered a violent crime, and it will fall under the stat of a violent crime. One stolen auto is not a violent crime. So that's what happens when a person gets their car stolen, when they actually get carjacked at the car wash or at the gas station. They don't classify it as a carjacking. They'll classify it as a theft one stolen auto. So what it does is that misrepresents that these stats are lower than they are. No, DC has actually been colluding and lying, misclassifying reports intentionally, and this is not my opinion. I'm giving you real legitimate insights on what is the DOJ is already investigating DC and the police department and how they have been intentionally misclassifying things and wait till it comes out. Oh my God, it's only going to help Donald Trump even more. Remember, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I don't care for Donald Trump. I just don't care for Democrats either. But I'm telling you, it's only going to make the Trump look better because they're going to find out that the Democrats have been lying. So the initial premise that crime is lower, your initial premise that crime is lower, I reject that because it's not true. Crime is not lower at all. It's just they've just been lying about and intentionally misclassifying crimes. That's one. Two, yes, I do believe for change. I'm okay with some people. Listen, let me say this too. I reject this notion that innocent people are being harassed. Let me tell you something. That ain't true. That ain't true.
Okay.
Let me just finish this point. When you go out to restaurants and you go out to different people, You feel like different social events. You don't have police walking up to you, saying stuff to you, harassing you, or doing none of that. That's none of that going on. You know where these so-called innocent people are? They are in the hood. And I'm not saying people in the hood are not innocent. What I'm saying is
that's exactly what you just said.
I'm not saying. I didn't say. What I said was the people that they are harassing are not innocent people. That's what I said. I didn't say that everybody in the hood is not an innocent person. I said
Okay.
that they are enforcing what they call quality of life crimes. So essentially, they harass them. They are going out to people that are drinking in public, smoking in public, and doing what they call quality of life crimes. They are actually enforcing those things. So they're saying, hey, it's a group of y'all out here smoking out in public when y'all not supposed to. It's a crime. You're supposed to go to jail for it. You all here drinking in public, and that's a crime. You're supposed to go to jail for it. They're actually enforcing those crimes. Now, if you want to call those people that are committing crimes innocent people, then I would say you're wrong. Because they're committing a crime. They're not, clearly, they're not innocent because they're guilty of that crime.
Hold on,
So,
Rashad. Hold
okay.
on, Rashad, before you respond, because Pretty Lucky 4 said, important fact check. DC has a 16-day streak without a homicide this year.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Super Pad said, Rashad, he knows it's a distraction. Low information voters will eat it up and ignore all the crime Trump is committing. Pretty Lucky 4 said, before any National Guard involvement. Mama said, how is the National Guard keeping people from murdering people when the police couldn't? They not everywhere. And Pretty Lucky said, and as been stated a billion times, you cannot misclassify a murder. Super said facts, and Pretty Lucky said, this is disinformation that he said this is disinformation that has been fact checked by conservatives and progressive outlets.
Listen, imagine this. Let me just picture this. Imagine I actually know. Imagine I actually know. Imagine I'm not giving an opinion. You're giving an opinion. You're looking at information on a piece of paper, and that's where your opinion is coming from. But imagine someone that's in the inside of this and actually knows, okay? And I'm telling you, you 100% can misclassify a murder. And you 100% can misclassify violent crime to crime that in the category of non-violent crime. You can 100% shift it. It ain't nothing but a button. It ain't nothing but a button. That's it. So you're wrong. I'm telling you that respectfully. You are wrong, and I'm not saying this from an opinion. I'm saying this because I actually know 100%. I'm involved.
Rashad?
So one of the perspectives that I'm speaking from is from knowing people that would be considered political activists, right? When I tell you that people are being harassed for exercising their First Amendment, I am also including that, right?
Okay.
I'm not. That's people in the hood. That's people that aren't in the hood. That's people that are walking down the street that has something negative to say, to the National Guards and all of these other things.
And the federal agency, so let me just say this real quick because there was a misconception. It's not just the National Guard. There are all of the federal police, all of the federal law enforcement agencies are on the street too. So it's just not the military. It's the it's the ATF, it is ICE, it is FBI, it is Park Police, it is Capitol Police. It's so many different federal agencies. So it's not just that for the people that think it's the military.
But let me do this, right? Because right now we all have different lenses that we're looking at. So let me address the lens that you're looking in, talking about how good it is, right? If you agree that this is the way to move forward, what do you think happens next?
So when you say, but I want to answer your question directly. When you say move forward, are you saying that it's supposed to stay like this forever? Because I'm looking at this as
I haven't said anything. I am saying this is the state of DC today. What do you think happens when when tomorrow comes, when a month later comes, when 2 months later, in 2026?
For the future. So I'm under the impression that the law only allows, and I'm being funny, but this is the law, that he only has the right to be able to enforce home rules for 30 days. And then you can apply for an extension with Congress. Now, I'm not saying he won't get the extension. I'm pretty sure he will get the extension because he controls the House and he controls the Senate right now, at least what the Republicans will do. But this is only a 30-day thing. His authority only stretches 30 days. So I am going to answer that from the perspective that it will end in 30 days. Is that fair?
Okay, that's I hear that, but my point is, this is the most lawless president we have ever had. And the fact that you are addressing limitations is it's that sleight of hand, right? Because anything that he initiates, he doesn't anticipate that this is going to be something that he's going to initiate and then go away, right?
I think
so. My concern is to show this force of might. The worst thing that could happen is that it would actually work. I don't believe that it's working, but that's just my thought. But the worst thing that could happen is that it would actually work, because then nobody would stop him from moving forward. And so I don't think the ends justifies the means. The means justify the end. I think it's hard to have a conversation. It's hard to have a genuine intellectual conversation with when you have a perception of a person and opinion of a person, and that opinion supersedes any topic. So when you asking me about a particular topic, a situation, I'm addressing a situation, and then your response is, "This is the most lawless president." Maybe he is. I'm not denying that, but I was only answering the that you asked me. I wanted to actually talk about his character, right? And this is the part where I Democrats lose me, because this is where they lose validity, because they won't acknowledge anything that he does positive, right? Because they always say, "Oh, but he's a bad person." Okay, that's because you're speaking from a premise that you believe that Democrats are good people. See, when you look at both of them as bad people, don't really matter if the person is bad or good, or evil or lawless or whatever. Because I think Democrats are lawless, and I think to a certain degree, and I think the Republicans are lawless. So both of these people are evil people to me. Now, if you ask me specifically about one situation, and you say, "Oh man, how you feel about? I mean, what's your thoughts on law enforcement and all those people?" And going down, and there hasn't been any homicide. The fact that you can't even acknowledge or even champion, say, "Wow," whether I like the fact that he came in and brought military and whatever, and I feel like that's unconstitutional, or whatever. You may have a different opinion on that, or you may not like that. I can't acknowledge that the most precious thing in the world is life. We for 16 days now. I know about 12, but let's go for 16 days now. For 16 days now, not a black person has been murdered in the District of Columbia, and we can't celebrate that. That's not a good thing. But you're not listening to everything that I said, because I said take away the fact that we disagree. I said, let's say I agreed with you, and I said, let's say this was a great thing that happened.
Okay.
So that acknowledges the fact that 16 days.
You're just going with the premise. You're not saying that it's actually a great thing. You're just saying let's go with it, so I can proceed in the conversation.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on, y'all. Let me read these comments. Pretty Lucky Four said, "Okay, this is problematic." He gave a website for fatcheck.org. This is literally fact checking, not opinions. He said source material versus image. If I'm on the inside, literally defines what is fact versus opinion. LOL. Babe said, let me get the popcorn. Super Pat said, yep, 30 days. Pretty Lucky said, here's what is missing. If we only deal with the facts, the result of this action has not produced a result that has not already been produced by local officials this year, and therefore the ultimate
12
danger
murders, 12
is
murders, 12 no homicides. That hasn't been produced, so that's a lie. Go ahead.
the ultimate danger is that an opinion of success will be presented that leads to more evil action in other areas because of a false premises that does not align with the facts. Superbad said
All I'm gonna
facts.
say is this: that's not true. Listen, crime is not down. Listen, imagine this. Imagine try to go from this premise. Crime is not down. I don't care what they tell you. Crime is not down. You get it's so funny because I'm local, so on my Instagram feed it's all local stuff. But one of the things that the local people keep saying is, "Hey, I want people that's not from DC to stop talking about crime not down." These are black people saying it. I want y'all to know that black people feel like they're in a war zone in Washington D.C. If DC is not a safe city, it is not a safe city. It is bad. It is and it is better than Chicago. This is not a safe city, and I don't care. That, and I want to say this because I want to put context to some of the things that the liberals say sometimes. They'll say stuff like crime is down. Okay, if we had 300 murders last year and we're down to 280, do you know that constitutes that crime is down? I want y'all to understand when they play these games. Listen, we shouldn't have 300 murders in the first place. And so when you are down to 50 murders, that is not something significant enough for you to be only holding your hand talking about crime is down.
Okay. Hey, before you step further, I got to address that right there, right?
Okay.
If you're talking about the fact that there is progress, but because overnight it is not an absolute, then you also have to address the fact that there are certain institutional elements that have caused that. And so by you saying that, yes, we need to bring more police, that's not addressing the root cause, brother. That's not addressing the homelessness. That's not addressing the money that they're taking away from the school districts. That's not taking into account that they're taking away the after school programs and all of these other things. So I'll say that there are other cities out there. Not in DC, huh?
I'm saying these things are not true in DC. But I'm gonna let you finish. My bad.
What things aren't true in DC?
I'm intelligent enough to remember all your points. I mean, I can remember, so I'll wait. Go ahead. I want you to finish.
Okay, so you're telling me that there are no systematic issues that the people in DC that are part of this hood that you talk about that they're caught up in? Are you telling me the justice system is just as fair there as it is? Are you telling me that there are not more heavily awarded sentences to black people that there are than white people in DC?
Are you making me a response?
I'm asking you a question.
No, okay, yes, so yes and no. So he said a lot. So some things I agree with, and then some things I disagree with. So yes and no. Some of the things you say. Yes, I can say that. You see, I would say this. I would say no. Black people are not getting charged with harsher sentences in DC than white folks. But I have to provide context. I'm putting that, and I'm super pro black. But I gotta give you the context because this is a liberal city, and they're not charging anybody for nothing. Let's start with that. They not charging, and I want you to know this: the majority of the crime that's being committed. I'm not talking about white collar crime either. I'm talking about low level crimes, what we would call people crimes like murder and theft and carjacking and robberies and stuff like that. They are 80. The majority of those crimes are being committed by black people. Let me say why though. Because wherever you go, whatever is the race that is poor, are going to commit those crimes, right? So, yes, the majority of low-level crimes are being committed by black people in D.C. because the majority of poor people that are in D.C. are black. I'm not associating crime with black people. I'm associating crime with money, with their financial level, with their financial class. So that's one. Okay. They're not getting prosecuted in jail. The DC doesn't prosecute anybody for nothing. Okay, they letting them out. So they rob. It's people that rob 13, 14 people, and they still ain't been sentenced in jail time. So I'm telling you, the judicial system in DC is extremely lenient to the point where now it's too lenient. That's another place. Another thing that you see was, do I believe that there are some underlying issues? Yes, I do. Yes, I believe historically American racists have been put in a set black people generational prisons in the black community through drugs and all kind of different stuff. And now, yeah, there are causes that make some of our blacks not function the way that they should. So I can acknowledge that. But I also can acknowledge that these after school programs are not being underfunded in DC. That's a lie. And on top of that, it's actually a waste. I'm going to say it's a waste. On top of that, I'll say this. This whole narrative that these people, these young black juveniles, are committing crimes because they don't have anything to do, and they don't have any parks to go to, and they don't have any recreational, and they don't have any after school programs, is a lie. Let me be 100 with you. These people, let me tell you something. These kids that are robbing people and shooting people and stealing from people are not the kids that go to after school programs. They're not going to after school programs regardless. So these are not the kids that are committing these crimes. The kids that go to after school programs actually go to after school programs. I'm just letting you know. These kids that are robbing and shooting and stealing people are not doing school programs. They barely even going to school. Now, now I'm not saying throw those kids away. I'm saying it could be other issues while they're doing that, but I'm just letting you know it is not because DC is not providing funding for these little motherfuckers. They don't want to do it. These niggas need jail. I'm being honest with you. They need to go to. I actually side with Charleston a little bit on this one. Meaning like it ain't no helping them at this point. You can only help them with going to jail. They gotta go and deal with real real punishment. Like they gotta go and realize they gotta get their freedom taken away from them so they can realize how valuable that freedom is. If you can understand what that means, that's what I'm saying. I'm not wishing black people to just go to jail. But I am saying this. You do get to a point where jail is the only thing that can be given to this situation. If you're robbing people and shooting and stealing from people, sending them to after school programs is not the effective solution. Some of these niggas need to go to jail. 100%.
Before you respond, Rashad, Pretty Lucky said this is insanity. The majority of crime in DC is committed by black people for one reason only, and that is the majority of people is black. Guys, it only takes 5 seconds to go to Wikipedia to see that the majority of people in DC area are black. Thank you, Pretty Lucky for. And Super Pat said.
Oh, that's true, but I'm saying it's not because they are black, it's because they are poor. The majority of crime that happens in West Virginia is done by poor white people. So it's more of a class issue, not a race issue. Because you know why white people don't commit a lot of crimes in DC? Do you know why white people are not being convicted and arrested for a lot of crimes in DC? Because the majority of the white people in DC are in the upper middle class. You don't have a large population of poor white people in DC. They don't exist. All of the majority of the white people in DC are upper middle class or high class. 100%. Go ahead.
Hold on. I want Rashad to respond. Super Pat said, anytime you ignore the rule of the law and due process is called authoritarianism. And Mama said, but F.A., you was in the streets and didn't go to jail, and you changed.
Yes.
And then Rashad, go ahead.
Okay.
And then I'll let you respond, F.A., but let Rashad respond.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So at the end of the day, a lot of the elements that I was addressing to were national issues, right? And so DC will have specific issues to DC, 100%. But I can tell you that putting a little time into it, I can identify where a root cause would be for all of these individuals that you're talking about that chose not to go to the schools, right? That chose not to go to the after school program. At the end of the day, there was a root cause, and I guarantee it was not us. We are not the root cause to
I agree with that.
and the point that I was making is when you were saying you can't take statistics, from the city and talk about crime has gone down when it's only been reduced by 0.5%. Well, if you want to start playing that game, then at the end of the day, we are in this situation because of elements that we did not have control over. And so that was the only reason why I was bringing that up. It's like if you're going to go there, then we got a whole lot more that we have to consider.
But
Yeah.
this is what I'm gonna do. I agree with you, Sean. I promise you, I am one of them people that do not want to let white folks off the hook for the stuff that they've done and the conditions that they've set. I am 100% with you. Also, 100% with black people living in fear from these little fucking terrorists. These little wild men that's roaming the streets. These people are not killing white people. They're affecting the whole community. So when I'm dealing with these people, and I'm saying the reason I'm passionate about it is because the victims and the people who are having a low quality of life in DC are black people. They ain't the white folks, because the white folks up there, they living good. They're not living in these areas where the black people are, for the most part. They starting to move in, believe it or not, due to gentrification and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you're right, they are to a certain degree.
Yeah, because it's happening here in Georgia
They
too.
really don't be messing with white people. They don't, when niggas rob niggas, they don't really be robbing them white people. I'm not saying they don't happen, because they do sometimes.
But that's because of proximity, though. That's proximity. You're gonna rob who's closest to you. So
well, sure, that's one way to look at it, and I'm not denying that. And you also can rob the people that actually have stuff worth robbing.
I'm sorry, I agree with that. I agree with him on that. Rob their asses.
But once again, that's what you're talking about is strategic. And so, no, you don't have strategic, gangbangers. You don't have strategic,
Agree.
right?
Agree.
If they were smart, they would rob their asses.
And I want to be clear. When you said, you don't want to give too much kudos to the small, my fault. Yeah, I did say that. And you said, well, if we don't do that, then we got to address some of the other issues that cause beef. I agree with that too. I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I am also doing, I got to deal with the circumstances we're in right now too. I'm not saying don't fight the fight of reparations and things that were done to us that got us in this condition. I'm not saying don't fight that truth. But I'm saying I'm also going to fight with the reality that we're in right now. Unfortunately, this nigga may have been created due to, messed up circumstances and injustices and racism and all of that. But I still got to deal with this nigga. Unfortunately, I got to deal with this nigga. And what can I do with this? I can't say, oh man, he committed all these crimes because of the injustices and things that were done to his father, and that's why he's not around. And his grandfather was hooked on drugs. Things gonna be true. I'm not going to ever disagree with you on that. I still got to deal with this nigga that's in front of me that's actually committing these crimes. So what do I do with them?
So understand that I never said that we should not address the individuals that are in the process of creating criminal activity. But you got to also remember another thing. As long as there are this heavily increased police presence, yeah, they will go back inside. But if your message is not to keep that going forever, as soon as they leave, then they're going to come back out, and then that's going to give the idiot in charge justification to make it a permanent thing.
No, I said, right, okay, that's fair. But what I said earlier, man, listen, I said these niggas need jail. So I'm not saying we need all these crazy levels of police presence. I'm not saying that. I agree that it is a quick fix, though. It is a quick fix because obviously the time is dropped dramatically. But to go in the future, I said we need more jail, meaning like we need harsher sentencing in the judicial system of people that are committing these crimes. And I'm talking about specifically DC. I'm not talking about other places. I'm talking about what I said earlier. DC is not prosecuting anybody. This is what I'm trying to say. Ain't nobody going to jail in DC. So when I say we need harsher sentences, I need you to understand harsher means more than no jail time. That's what that means. It means more than no jail time.
Fair enough. I am hearing your message, and if what you're saying is that, yeah, DC is actually just slapping everybody on the wrist, I don't agree with that. Okay, so I am with you in that particular regard, but we can address what the judicial system looks like without having to have an influx of military presence on the street. That is never a good. That's never. Here's the thing. That always leads to something else. Every single time. Every single time that leads to something else. Yeah. So there's a bigger picture in here, right? The fact that he is flexing that muscle right there shows the fact that, look, he is trying to put himself in a position to where people like yourself that are, tired of the people that are not going to jail, they're going to start agreeing with that.
Yeah.
And by him having a higher approval rate for some of those things, it gives him the justification to make it into law and to lengthen it out there. We can't pretend that
you don't make things into law. People, we gotta stop. We know that's not the seat.
Slow down. So understand the point that I'm making, right? He's not able to make laws. Fine. But guess what else he's not able to do? He's not able to put tariffs on people. Is he doing it? Yes, he is. He's also not able to put people out of their jobs. But is he doing it? Yes, he is. So let's not pretend just because he's not able to do certain things.
Oh, no, he's putting people out of jobs.
He has the authority to shrink government. Yes, he is. So he's able to lay off people in the federal government. He has that authority.
Okay, so by laying off,
he does have the right to implement tariffs too. Who told y'all he couldn't do that?
No, the president single-handedly cannot do that.
No, not single-handedly. You're right. But what I'm saying is, when it's just, why we acting like we don't know how politics work? When you control the House and the Senate, and you're both Republicans, that they're going to do the will of the Republican president in most cases.
Okay, but there's also due process. There's also something that they have to go and vote on as the House and the Senate.
They should be.
I'm never going to defend. I'm here to defend that we don't do things in order like that. I'm not here to argue that. I'm just saying, I was just repeating that he has the authority to lay on civil employees. He has that authority. He can shrink government. And it's not been done several times before him too. So
Okay, so the fact that he's trying to fire the black lady over the Fed, you saying he has authority for that as well?
No. Well, he actually does. He
doesn't. The Fed is an independent institution.
Google it.
I don't have to Google that, man.
The authority to fire her. He has to have a cause. He has to have a cause. So she's not a real worker where he can just wake up and be like, "Hey, I don't want you to hit no more. You gotta go." No, he don't have that authority. But he does have the authority to fire her if he got some dirt on her, if she uses slangs. But if he got what they would consider a just cause, then he can fire her. Yes, he can. They Google that.
So, Didi, are you going to be doing this again tomorrow?
Yes, because I got to get off.
Okay.
Final.
Yeah. I got to go and I got to get a dentist appointment. But
okay.
I definitely want to continue this conversation.
Final thoughts, y'all. And then Pretty Lucky said the reality FA appears to be discussing the evil genius on Trump, or discussing the evil genius on Trump. The reality is that no actions by him is positive, but by taking an action, it gives an appearance of solution. Trump's entire monetary gain casinos is built on giving a false sense of winning that is built on huge losses where the person in power is the only winner.
Do you know how Adolf Hitler started?
Well,
He started
he started with allowing a bunch of refugee Jews to enter into his country, and then they end up kind of turning and stuff. But that's a whole nother story. So I mean, I'm just letting you know that, but that's a whole nother story. We don't gotta go down there right now. But
All right, both of you guys drop your final thoughts real quick because I know Rashad said he has to run. And you guys drop your final thoughts if you have any final thoughts. Pretty lucky. Thank you for all your information. It's been good. He said something wasn't accurate, but go ahead, drop your final thoughts.
I don't have any final thoughts.
To be continued?
I'll say this. I'm not. I want you speaking over you. I think it'd be a lag on my phone.
I think it's a little lag, but you're good. We're not talking. You got the floor.
I want to be clear. There was a former street guy, me speaking, who actually used to believe in the ignorance of the streets. That no longer does. I am not a Republican. I am not a fucking Democrat or Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I probably have more conservative views than liberal views, but I definitely no conservative either. And I am just giving you, to me, a balanced opinion. I feel like my opinion is more balanced because I am not here to defend Democrats. I'm not here to defend Republicans. I'm here to defend Black people. I'm here to tell you, and also condemn Black people. Like, I also will not always make excuses for niggas either, because some of these niggas need jail. Okay? Some of these niggas need jail. And I think when you've been in my situation, and you go to Washington, D.C., and you found out that over the last 3 years, we have lost almost 50 children under the age of 12 to murder. Like, when you see a bullet hole in a 1-year-old's side of his head, when you see a bullet hole in a infant's head, when you see a bullet hole in the chest of a 4-year-old that was in a stroller, and you keep seeing these things over and over again, you're going to stop giving excuses for these niggas, for these terrorists that are fucking just destroying our community. So I am being honest. I believe with the extreme things that I see on a regular basis, I also still have balance. I also still don't say so, man, I want to Black people. Because I don't think solution is but some of these niggas do need jail. And a lot of Black people, at least from my mother's age, would agree. This new generation, I don't know what's wrong with that. It's like, no. He killed those people because his mother and father was a crackhead. So if I would agree with that, but he still didn't go to jail. It's like, no. You don't need to go to jail because his life was hard. Agree with that. His life shouldn't be hard. He still needs to be. Somebody still. That's what I'm saying. He is in warning, and it's going to be sad. So he got to go to jail, and that's what I'm doing.
Dre said, yes, you can fire anyone that is head of a government entity. And Pretty Lucky said, just a reminder that facts are not Republican or Democrat. To be continued tomorrow, fellas. I do appreciate you. F.A., you said 2 o'clock works better for you?
Yes, all the time.
Rashad, 2 o'clock's good for you? Whenever?
It's just whenever I can get it.
Okay. All right. See y'all tomorrow. TGF, Labor Day weekend. Let go. All right. Have a good rest of your Thursday. All right. Bye. All right, Kathleen, I'm going to follow you, but thank you for the follow.